How did you use media technologies in the construction and research, planning and evaluation stages? During the time I've been working on my coursework, I've been using an Apple Mac. I found that it was very useful when creating my final product, as it is a great computer for professional applications such as photo editing, rendering and movie editing. Using an Apple Mac was also very beneficial in my planning, as it allowed me to easily take screenshots from other film posters and websites. This was very helpful when doing my textual analysis and also when I needed to demonstrate my poster and website progression. To present my work, I also used a software called WordPress, which is an online cloud-based blog. WordPress was very useful as it allowed me to save my work online through cloud storage. As a result, I could access my work on any other computer platform and even on my smartphone, which helped it to make the process quick and hassle-free. This was very useful if I needed to finish work off that I didn't manage to complete in class. To conclude, I think that WordPress was extremely useful and was very beneficial to have all my work online, because if it was on paper, there would be the danger of losing the work. The internet proved further useful as it allowed me to use Prezi, which is a cloud-based presentation software. I used Prezi in my planning to create my initial ideas. This was very useful as it allowed me to be creative with the way I present my ideas, as it made it look more interesting and could experiment with different fonts, colours and layouts. When creating my poster and website, I used a digital SLR camera to take my images. This was very useful as the photo quality was better than an ordinary digital camera. As a result, my poster and website looked more professional. When it came to my trailer, I recorded my shots with an HD digital video camera. This camera proved very useful as it was easy to take home, which allowed me flexibility when I wanted to record. I also used various video camera tools such as the tripod and the dolly. The tripod allowed me to get an accurate shot when I needed to tilt the camera or track a character's movement. Using the tripod also allowed me to experiment with different shot types. This will make my trailer more interesting for my audience. Throughout the process of constructing my poster and website, I also learned how to use Photoshop. Photoshop is a graphics editing program developed and published by Abode Systems. It was extremely beneficial for my process of constructing my final poster and website, as it made the process easier and made my final product look more professional. When creating my poster, Photoshop allowed me to create a clear layout, which I did through the use of rulers and guidelines to set out how much space I needed for taglines, cell lines and titles. It also made it easier to edit my images, as it allowed me to clear up blemishes and imperfections in photos, remove and change backgrounds and add any photos. To do this, I also learnt how to use various tools such as the spot healing brush and how to control the size and flow of my brush. Editing my images was also beneficial, as I could use the effects to change my image of the house so it looked as if I took the image in the dark. I also learnt how to change the saturation of my main image. This helped when making my poster, as I could sharpen my main image and make the picture stand out more. I also learnt how to change the spacing of my letters. This helped me when creating my font and typography, as I could change it to create exactly what I wanted. Also, when creating my typography for my poster and website, I used a website called dafont.com. This site allowed me to browse through various fonts and download the ones I wished to use. I believe this made my poster and website different and unique, as I could pick the exact font I felt suited my genre. When it came to creating my trailer, the software I used was Final Cut Pro, which is a non-linear video editing software. This new technology was very useful, as it made the production of my trailer easier, faster and quicker, as it gave me access to various tools that would advantage my trailer. Once I had imported the shots I wanted to use, I used various tools such as the selection tool. This allowed me to select and move different clips and place them where I wanted to on the timeline. I also used the razor tool, which allowed me to cut down clips or sounds that I didn't want. When I wanted to take the sound off a clip, I had to lock which layer the video was on by clicking the padlock and using the selection tool to erase the sound. If I wanted to represent a passing of time, I used the cross dissolve tool and added a fade in and fade out transition. I did this by right clicking on the clip and choosing cross dissolve option. This made my trailer appear more professional, which would be more attractive to my target audience. When editing my trailer, I also changed the speed and variation of clips. I did this by selecting the clip I wanted to change my speed on, then hovering over modify and clicking this change speed option. This brought me up to a box where I could enter the percentage of the change speed. The higher the number I put in, the faster my clip was going to be, and the lower the number I entered, the slower my clip was going to be. When creating my trailer, I used a software called GarageBand to create the music and sounds free from copyright. An example of the sounds I used in my trailer that I got from GarageBand was the doorbell and the bangs. By using these sounds, it created non-diegetic sound effects which exaggerated scenes in my trailer and made it scarier for the audience. By using GarageBand, it also allowed me to edit my own recordings. To do this, I opened up GarageBand and instead of choosing the Create New Project option, I chose the Create New Podcast option. Once this opened, I dragged the recording into GarageBand and clicked on View the Track Info. This allowed me to choose from many effects to put on my recording. By doing this, I could change up my recordings and choose an effect that was more suited to my genre. The internet was also useful when I had finished my trailer and wanted to upload it onto a social networking site, which I did on YouTube. This website allowed other people from around the world to view and comment on my trailer, which provided useful feedback. YouTube also allowed me to use the embedding tool so I could put my trailer onto my WordPress blog. When evaluating my final Media Cross package, I used a software called Polldaddy, which is available through WordPress. This software allowed me to create polls for each of my poster, website and trailer. When using Polldaddy, I had to decide what questions I wanted to ask my audience, which I wrote in the box that says New Poll, and also the answers I wanted them to pick from, which I wrote in the answer boxes. The software then allowed me to pick which design I wanted my poll to be in. This made it more creative and appealing to my audience. Through using this software, it enabled me to gather feedback on what people's thoughts and opinions were on each product.